this episode of 10 Questions with Mary, we speak to a manager who recently received top honors for his work. Let's go meet him.
Happy birthday to...
For Celine Garza and her family, a quick trip to the McALLEN Recycling Center is opening up new possibilities for our autistic son, Gabriel.
Gabriel has severe autism. He's nonverbal. He also suffers from seizures. So we're constantly just keeping him by our side and just monitoring him, make sure that his environment is safe. So it's like anything that keeps him entertained, things that he likes to do, anything that makes noise, like that just keeps him happy and keeps him in a special place.
Celine says a couple of months ago, her husband had to shred some documents, so he brought Gabriel with him to the McALLEN Recycling Center. And during that visit, her son was all smiles. She says the sound of the shredder and the texture of the paper fascinated him.
Our daily life is just different every day. We never know what we're going to experience, what he's going to go through. He keeps us on our toes.
Celine says Gabriel likes to shred paper at home. He takes a sheet of paper and cuts it up into small pieces. She adds she didn't know the significance until her husband brought him here. That's because here he can actually follow how the shredding process really works.
I've known this family since Gabriel was 5, so he's 17, so 12 years.
Denise Keller is Gabriel's former teacher and has remained a close friend to Gabriel's parents via Facebook.
He was my student when he was in the McALLEN ISD PPCD program, and he was one of my favorites. The parents were so great to get along with. They were so accommodating. We worked well together, and we just remained friends. I've been part of his life's Special Olympics, all different types of activities.
After Gabriel's first trip to the recycling center to shred paper, Keller says Gabriel's parents told her of his newfound interest. She states that the 17-year-old's family wanted to make his birthday special by having it at the recycling center.
I made a couple of calls. I called y'all's director, gave her the backstory of him, and she's like, let's make it happen. I think that would be great for him to have a birthday party where he doesn't want to be at Peter Piper. He wants to be here.
The McALLEN Public Works Director, Elvira Alonso, and her McALLEN recycling staff, Robert Ramirez and Marco Ortiz, took matters in their own hands. Their office became party central, complete with balloons, gifts, and cupcakes, plus a few friends to celebrate Gabriel's birthday.
Gabriel came in on his birthday and he wanted to be part of the recycling. So we went ahead and got all the, that day we put everything together. He came in, he looked very excited, and we went ahead and took him outside and had a tour of the recycling center.
This turned into an incredible treat for the birthday boy.
His birthday celebration here was amazing. Marco just made sure to give him that hands-on experience. Like, he brought over the shredded materials for Gabriel to feel and touch. Like I said, for him, it's all about texture. It's all about sounds. So it's like the feeling the different papers that were cut up, the glass that was recycled in the bottles. He was just like so happy to have access to that. He went home and just continued to play with all of these things throughout the day.
Celine believes Gabriel has always been a recycler at heart. He has had a fascination with shredding paper into small pieces. For Celine, what the recycling center workers did for Gabriel's birthday party meant the world to them.
I'm very appreciative because it just makes it really nice.
Denise says this is what doing the right thing looks like.
Oh, it was, inclusion at its finest.
Gabriel and his family continue to visit the recycling center once a month to shred documents. For the workers at the recycling center, a simple act of kindness was simple enough to make this young man smile. For the City of McALLEN, I'm Roy Cantu.
One, two, three.
Yay!
McALLEN. I'm Roy Gunthu here at the McALLEN Cable Network Studios. With me today is a very favorite guest of mine. How you doing?
Good. Hi, this is Colleen at Quinta Mazatlan, and we're inviting you to the Sticks and Bones Trail at Quinta Mazatlan. It goes on to November the 15th. And this time of year at Halloween, people usually see a lot of spooky skeletons. But at Quinta Mazatlan, you're going to learn about the not so spooky skeletons and why bones are so important to our body. You're going to start your walk learning about your bones and how they protect and support you. And then you're going to learn about the different creatures, and you're going to start in the forest and learn about animals that don't have bones, the invertebrates. You might meet Batman hanging out, you're going to meet octopus, and then you're going to enter the vertebrate trail and starting out with the reptile room. But remember, you have nothing to fear but fear itself. You're going to meet reptiles, amphibians, mammals, and look for the only flying mammal in the world, which is the bat. Join us at Quinta Mazatlan, October through mid-November.
Hello, I'm Xochitl Mora with the City of McALLEN. Welcome to your McALLEN Minutes. It was a typical cold December morning for Jose Juan Almaguer, a City of McALLEN Public Works heavy equipment operator with the commercial box department. He started off his 5 a.m. pre-trip safety inspection just like he did every morning, looking for anything that might impair his ability to do his job. Noticing a smudge on the camera lens, he climbed into the back of the truck to clean it. Little did he know that this simple attention to detail and following procedure would lead him to have the most important pickup of the day. Almaguer drives the trash collection truck that services the commercial clients in McALLEN, businesses, restaurants, retail shops, and the like, who use McALLEN's friendly and efficient commercial service. His morning started with a few routine pickups, in which he lifts up the trash container, dumps the trash into the back of the truck, then compresses it with a push of the button. He continues on to a 6th stop at the Paseo Plaza on South 10th. It is there that Almaguer makes the trash collection of a lifetime. As Almaguer dumps the trash into the back of the vehicle, he presses the button to compress so that he can view the camera feed. He sees an unbelievable sight. A hand and arm are waving frantically into the camera. In that moment, he realizes that he has just saved someone's life. He quickly climbs out of the truck, looking into the back to see if the person is okay. He proceeds to call 911, and within minutes, both McALLEN fire and police crews are at the scene.
Are you okay? ¿Estás bien? You doing good?
Firefighters move quickly to safely get the man out of the back of the truck, while Almaguer looks on in disbelief. Once the man in the back of the truck is out of the vehicle, firefighters and EMS attempt to treat him. However, the person, identified only as Victor, refuses treatment. turns out, Victor is homeless and was sleeping inside of the dumpster looking for warmth from the cold December weather. That is when he was awakened by being dumped into the back of the trash truck. Unfortunately, McAllen Public Works officials say this is not an uncommon situation with the homeless population that happens across the country during cold weather, with often much more tragic results. But in McAllen, Almaguer was able to be a hero public works driver simply by following McAllen Public Works safety procedures.
Hello, thank you so much for joining us on this edition of McAllen Now.
My family and I, we're thinking of what's a good way of doing community service hours without, putting ourselves at risk or at danger. And we thought of this, and we think it's a really good idea.
This is great. I mean, for people to come out, especially to honor us, to thank us for what we're doing right now in the middle of this coronavirus issue, is fantastic. I know everyone's kind of hesitant to come out and get back out in the public, and this, for them to do this for us, was extra special.
Hello, my name is Jim Darling, Mayor of McAllen, and this is Meeting with the Mayor. And today we have Dr. Juan Pablo Gomez, who's with us from Regional Hospital. Welcome, Dr. Gomez.
We were not aware of how many bees that were in the chimney.
It was an epic find for the city of Palms.
One of our contractors was cutting the lawn here, and he made us aware that there was a bee infestation in the chimney.
Turns out this abandoned home became the perfect hive for a colony of bees. But instead of exterminating them, the city decided to rescue as many as possible.
Bees are important for, pollination, for all that. We live in an agricultural area here in South Texas, so it's very important that the bees be saved and rescued as much as we can. Primarily protecting human life, but if we can relocate them, then that's a good thing.
That's when the city called on a local beekeeper, Glenn Simpson, with Bay Bees out of Brownsville with over 40 years of experience. Glenn and his team quickly flew into action and descended upon the dilapidated home on 1309 Cedar.
We had to improvise, but we got up to the top and we thought it would be a fairly small colony.
To everyone's shock,
There was at least 15 to 20,000 bees in that one colony.
they finally understood what all the buzz was about.
They were attached to a board that was on top of the chimney. We removed that board and started cutting out comb. We got it as deep as we could, and we were able to save as much brood, which is the baby bees and some of the workers. But we had no idea the extent of it down inside the chimney.
Simpson thinks that this may have been years in the making. So as the beekeepers worked on safely extracting all of them, not all the stingers were behaving.
We were actually stationed across the street, thinking we were, at a nice distance. But you wear loud colors. I was wearing cologne that day, and of course they were attracted and they came over.
This city employee actually had to run across the street to flee the stingers. And although he didn't get stung, others weren't as lucky.
Two of our city staff were stung. One of our building inspectors was stung. He was here to make sure that access to the structure was appropriate, and One of our firemen was also stung.
So if you find yourself in a sticky situation,
First thing is to back away from them. Don't swat at them. They'll take it as a threat, and that will cause them to become more defensive and possibly sting you. They don't like black. They consider black associated with black bears, and so they will actually sting you more frequently if you're wearing a black shirt.
during this whole process, they extracted over 200 pounds of honey, a massive amount that unfortunately had to be thrown away because of a contamination from smoke used to usher them out. Today, these pollinators are living in a bee farm in Lyford. Just goes to show you, these flying insects could be just about anywhere.
Hello, thank you so much for joining us for this edition of McALLEN Update. I'm Mary Avila.
And I'm Roy Cantu. We begin with the city's first major public event.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of On 1300. I'm Xochitl Mora with the City of McALLEN, and joining me today is McALLEN Mayor Jim Darling. Mayor Darling, welcome to our studios.
Well, thank you very much, and I'm happy to be here.
Welcome to Outdoors with Roy. We're here at the McALLEN Hike and Bike Trail to see some of this beautiful art, where some of these irrigation pipes have just received a nice facelift. Coming up on this episode of Outdoors with Roy, we will introduce you to a local artist that will show us what it takes to create this beautiful art. Also, we will see how Keep McALLEN Beautiful is hoping to remodel public areas in our community that showcase amazing works of art.